joining us this morning. If you got questions for Coach Traylor, please use the raise hand function and wait for me to call on you. JJ, you can get us started.
Jeff, when you watched the film from the Thursday game at South Florida, what are some of your big takeaways there?
Oh, obviously you can't get off to a start like that. You put ourselves behind, like that 14-0 before our defense ever got on the field. Against a very, very good football team in a hostile environment. That's a lot to ask. We couldn't tackle them. That was disappointing. They do a good job. They did a great job. So I'll give them credit there. But we couldn't tackle very well. The pre-snap penalties were frustrating. That's the first time we've really seen, 6 of those, I believe. And we couldn't protect our quarterback. I think we gave up 6 sacks for the first time. They really got after us. They just kicked our tail in every aspect of the game. So that's what I saw.
If I wanted to ask you about the quarterback protection, was that all on what South Florida did? It looked like they brought some blitzes, or was there something you think you guys could have done better there?
There was once where, our running back didn't pick up the sound fire. That would be an MA on us. But the rest of them, we were just getting, whipped. We had a full slide protection, had a real chance to score a touchdown. Jamel ran right past him on a post route, and we got beat at left tackle. Got a speed rush on the outside. It's technique. It's all on coaching. It doesn't matter. But as far as missed assignments, we had 1. The other 5 were physical. They did a great job. I'm not trying to say they didn't. But they played pretty much an 8-man box most of the night and said, you're not going to run the football, and you're going to have to throw it. And they were pressing us, so, you got to get the ball thrown down the field, which means you got to protect a little longer. And we didn't do that in any way. It was the first time I really thought our line just got overwhelmed. Even A&M, I thought we competed harder and better.
Greg.
Jeff, you mentioned the difficult start in this game, and you talked after the game about handling adversity. How did you feel like the guys sort of handled the challenges that they faced early as it related to the rest of the game? Was there any concern in that sense?
No, we just got physically whipped on defense. That was where I'm most disappointed. It's how bad we were on defense. Our offense was out there 40 minutes. We had 94 snaps, I believe. I mean, we didn't score a lot, but we were moving the ball. The 16-play drive was one of the best drives we've had all year after the turnover. But we made a terrible call on the first play of the game. That's on coaching staff. And even the call we made on the 2-yard line was not a good call. To put that kid reading that thing out, going against his hand was a bad decision by us. But Owen can't make those plays no matter what. He's got to throw the ball away on the first play, and he needs to give the ball on the one down there going in. Kids competed hard. Just really disappointed that our defense just almost was non-existent.
So how do you address that physicality with the defense going forward at this late stage of the season?
It's tough. It's because of it's the timing of the year, and I warned y'all. I try to tell everybody. I know everybody's like, "Wow, what? You sound like we're going to lose before you ever get there." I knew we were going to play way above our head, and we didn't. Greg, we did not play well, and they were a really good team.
Were there things with that defensive unit, especially on the defensive front, that your guys didn't do that you would like to see, or besides the physicality, or was it more just the matchup?
The matchup, there's nothing I can do about it. We got to control what we can control, and we didn't. We did not strike. We did not have good pad level. We didn't tackle well. We looked like a really poorly coached defense.
JJ.
Jeff, what's the overall morale of the team at this point in the season? Is it still about the same?
That was a big loss because that eliminated us from having any chance of winning this thing. Now with 3 losses, that's out the window. So we'll see. We'll find out. And the kids that I've sensed none of that yet, but we'll find out. We haven't practiced yet since that game. We've got a lot to play for. This is our 6th season here. We've made a bowl for 5 straight years. That's really hard to do. I know our fan base isn't happy with it because they're used to winning championships in 11 and 12, and I don't blame them. We're not happy with it either, but we still have something to play for. And to get to a bowl, you can't get to 6 if you don't win 5. So we got to go get this next one.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how much of a emphasis is it getting to bowl eligibility? Because you still have a pretty tough schedule ahead of you to reach that 6-win threshold.
No doubt. I mean, East Carolina's still playing for the championship. I mean, they're a really good team. Charlotte's got us at 11 o'clock on a morning kick. That's tough on that travel and play that early in the morning, but that's what it is. And then we know how tough Army is every single game. So, yeah, it's a tough schedule. We got a really tough one. So we got to get number 5.
Greg?
Do you talk to the guys about the bowl eligibility streak and what that means to the program? Is that kind of a conversation that starts to come up this week?
Not yet, because we got to get to 5 before we get to 6. I mean, so we got to figure out what's wrong with us. Why are we so different on the road? Which is something I'm sure you're going to ask me here pretty quickly, because that's one of your favorite questions, and it's a good question, and it's fair. It's a fair question. We got to figure that out. Like why do the penalties show up on the road, and why do the drop passes show up on the road? And the truth is, obviously, that means we're mentally weak, and I've got to do a better job of having a mentally tough football team. And we've never worked harder at all that. We really paid unbelievable attention to that, and it's just not showing up for us on the road yet.
When you mentioned the mental toughness going into the game this weekend, how do you make sure that your guys are sort of particularly focused on this game and not underestimating a Charlotte team that you guys are projected to be able to beat?
We just played so poorly. There's just nothing to even talk about Charlotte. I mean, if we play like that again, we'll lose again. We've got to be better. That's where all the focus is. It's on us.
How did you feel about Owen McCown in this game and the way he sort of handled being under pressure and doing what he could to keep the offense on track?
Yeah, I mean, he played fine. He wasn't great. I mean, but he played, he actually played pretty well. Those 2 turnovers just a killer. It put us so far behind. But he's heavily contested, but made some really good throws and made some good plays. When you can't run the ball and you can't protect your quarterback, I don't care who the quarterback is. You'd have to be Vince Young, Johnny Manziel. You'd have to be some kind of, super freak to overcome the situation we put him in.
One of the bright spots from this game for you guys, we saw Mekhi Anderson get to score a touchdown in his hometown against USF. Did you get a sense of what that moment meant to him? Have you talked to him about that at all?
Yeah, he's a super kid. His family was all there. It was really good to see all of them. If he could stay healthy, he could be a really good football player. We just hasn't been able to keep him healthy, but I'm glad he was healthy for that game.
And then after the game, Coach Golish made some comments essentially saying that your statements through the week about USF buying players sort of discredits the work that the players and coaches there have done to build that program and achieve the success they have this season. I was just wondering if you heard those comments and if you have any response based on that.
When you win, you get to say what you want to at the mic. So congratulations, Alex. Your team whooped their tail.
JJ?
Jeff, what do you see on film from Charlotte? What do you have to do to have success this week?
Well, they've got 3 really good receivers, which is scary. I mean, all of those guys can really go. So that was alarming. They were better on offense than I wanted them to be, and we're not playing very good defense right now. Defensively, they've been struggling, but they play hard. And I know how that feels. I can tell they're really working hard at it, and they're struggling getting people down. But it's not for lack of effort. It's not for being lined up incorrectly. So I know Coach Albin will have his guys ready to play, and we got to be better for us.
Jeff, the travel in the United States this week specifically is kind of iffy. Do you have any concerns getting to Charlotte this week?
That's always a coin toss. So yeah, that is one of the things that, you got to go back to Philippians, worry about nothing, pray about everything. I'm trying not to put that on my list right now, JJ, but you know how much I hate to fly anyway, so I appreciate you putting that in. I'm sure you got some other great news for me here soon.
Greg?
Jeff, you've talked about the defense quite a bit this morning so far. How much of it is the fundamentals and physicality you've talked about versus where are you guys in terms of, assignments and schematically and that part of it? How do you feel about that component of the defensive effort?
We were terrible, Greg. I mean, when you start, yes, we didn't tackle well. We didn't have good pad level. A couple of times we had MAs. Didn't make plays downfield at defensive back. There's just nothing good to say really about that game defensively.
Anything else for Coach Traylor this morning?
There's some guys, if you want me to be positive, there were some guys that came in the game late that actually made some plays, So that was positive, if there's anything. Just some of the guys that got out there, played hard, played well.
Greg.
Along those lines, just on the more positive side of it, there were some guys later in the game in the second half who delivered some pretty big hits there. I mean, it seemed like your guys were still playing hard. Was there anything promising that you took from that, just the way the effort was approached in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, we finished the game correctly. We didn't misbehave. We didn't do anything crazy. There was nothing, that can happen when you're getting your tail just kicked like that. And our kids handled it right. They're good kids. We just didn't play very well. And I know I keep saying it. I'm the coach and I'm responsible for it. And I got to figure it out.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank y'all. God bless. Birds up.